Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria, is partnered with Civil Society, scaling up nutrition in Nigeria.
Yes. A very, very good morning to you. I'm selling out already. No. First, this is SRTV. This is ART London. It's not cross carpet. All right. So don't think that is my name. That's the topic of the day. Well, it's a beautiful day, and the show is Rise and Shine in Nigeria. Are we rising? Are we shining? We have the potential to be. Well, like I said, Nigeria is the only country that imports everything, but that does not have to import anything. Let me repeat. Nigeria is the only country that imports everything, down to toothpick, we import it. But we are the only nation on earth that have the potential not to import a dime. That is not perhaps the narrative we face on a daily basis as a people. What is really more interesting for us is how we play politics. A little child in Nigeria have to know, I'm going to be this, so that when I become the councillor, when I become a chairman, I'm going to make a lot of money, and I'm going to build a house, I'm going to buy a car, and I'm going to take my child and my family abroad. My treatment will be abroad. So that has been our mentality. And I wonder whether that is the problem we're facing or not. I'm not going to say much today. Today, I am in the presence of greatness. We're going to analyze issues together. So put your pen down, because we really need to follow this step by step. I'm going to be very quiet today, and I'm going to be clinical, because I have a guest, of course, with the engineer on board. With these two people, there will be no shortage of the ideas. What we want to look at today is actually cross-carpeting in Nigeria. Does it make sense? All right. First, I want to know what is politics for them. Why did they even choose to join government? What changes do they want to make? We do know that some of them never knew they would be governor. Some of them never knew they would be president. And when they got there, they get confused. Because perhaps otherwise, if I am the governor of Delta State, I have a blueprint of where Delta State will be. It's in my palm. I don't see anybody changing that. In fact, you will be following me instead of me following you. What are you talking about? Now, what makes Moses a leader? Moses was saying, follow me. Moses was not following people, losers. He set the pace, and people were running after him. He successfully took the children of Israel from Egypt to where to the so-called promised land. What's happening to us, my people? Do we have leaders? Do we have people who have a plan for us, or it is even our fault that we choose the wrong side of leaders? That's some of the things we'll look at today. Like I said, I'm in the presence of greatness. Let me quickly bring my guys in. Work Boss and the almighty Mishak is in the house. Listen, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Very good morning, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Nigeria
is kicking, and it's nice to have. You see, when yesterday I was worrying, I was crying, I was saying things, and I said, where is the Moses of our time? But I just realized that so many Moses are out there. They've not come together. So I'm telling you, I'm in the presence of Moses today, for those of you watching. All right, Work Boss, quickly. It's nice to have you, because it's not every day we're going to have you, so we're going to try and rush you. You know, when you have a woman, you're not going to get every day. That's not play with the bar. Make the teacher not come. On time. So let's go straight to this. Today in Nigeria, especially in Delta State, in our area now, it's like we are a target. We are always a target to the boys in Aso Rock. The reason I say this is during Ibori time, Ibori was a target because they knew that a lot of money were coming to the area. During Odwa, of course, Goodluck Jonathan know the power of the money in the area. And then during Okowa, it is our money that was used to make that side. Now, Oboriwori is here. Oboriwori has cross-capital, of course, to follow the big man. They call it Hurricane Tinubu. Is this Hurricane Tinubu or lack of leadership? Or lack of vision? How we put it?
The fact remains that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu currently is very scared. He's so scared.
Yes.
That is why you can see that he has been busy going about the south of Nigeria, manipulating, intimidating, coercing the governors to migrate from their political party, whether Labour Party or whether PDP, to the APC. He's coercing them to enjoin him for an unholy marriage. He's coercing them for political migration, for political gains, and for survival instincts. Whereas governments should be all about performance. Government should be all about solving the problem and the challenges of the people. Government comes from the people. Government is all about people. Government must be people-oriented, as against what we are seeing today in Nigeria. This is still the President Tinubu that was a champion of the NADECO, that advocated for Nigerian democracy in the 90s. And we saw eventually everything came to place, fell into place. He eventually became a governor. Prior to that, he was a senator, though for a short time before the democracy system was dissolved by the military.
Yes.
Eventually, he became governor of Lagos State. And he did so well, if you should check President Bola Ahmed Tinubu antecedents. This is a man that advocated for fiscal planning by state government. He advocated for local government election. He advocated for a lot of tourism. He advocated for land matters, that today state government has exclusive rights over the land in their states. Land Use Act. And who did he use for these advocacies? Professor Yemi Osibanjo, who was then his Attorney General for Lagos State. So President Tinubu was also the first governor, first Nigerian to set up an IPP, Independent Power Plant. But President Olusegun Obasanjo tackled him using the 1999 Constitution as amended, that electricity generation or supply was an exclusive right for the federal as against the state government. So why did he set up this power IPP? So that he can boost the industries. There can be industrial revolution by way of investors, industries moving from other parts of Nigeria into Lagos State to boost their IGR, to boost, tackle the unemployment rate, and to tackle a lot of social amenities and needs of the people. But today, he eventually evolved, became the president of Nigeria as at 2023 election. The people, some people were happy, people that knew his antecedents. Some were not happy because they felt that he hijacked the system to be there. But eventually, instead of President Tinubu to ensure that professionals, technocrats, takes the front seat, while politicians take the back seat as a means of oversight function to checkmate the professionals. Because if you want to fix a political system, you need to ensure that round pegs must be put in round holes, square pegs in square holes. Because I don't see any reason why our current Minister of Power, Electricity, is an accountant. What does an accountant know about power supply? What does he know about types of wires and cables? What does he know about power generation or power transmission? So you see that was where President Tinubu started failing. He now politicized his administration as against making it a professional administration. He made it political, and that's why you see that they are so incompetent. They don't know what to do. They're already running out of ideas. Yes, President Tinubu is making policies. Policies you are making, the right audience are not feeling you. The right audience are not getting the impact of those policies that you have been creating.
And I'm looking at it critically, Victor. We're looking at a situation where, you see, if I'm to give a scorecard for this administration, presently 2 years under review, I will give them 35%. Then that's a failure for me, because when you talk of policies, as policies have not been impactful on the people. When you talk of intention, the intent in governance and of governance has not reflected on the expectations of the people. So we have a lacuna in that area as well. Then when you look at the trajectory of political movement, and you know that, I mean, is a creation of what he preached against. Is creating a template for maladministration to thrive, because like you earlier affirmed, coercing, aggressive coercion, intimidation, manipulation are part of the hallmarks of this administration to hold on to power. We have derailed from governance, we have derailed from government, and we are looking onto something that is still 2 years away when we have pressing issues. How can a sitting commander-in-chief would go and visit Benue State after human rights activists have come out to shout and gone to Benue? Even the government media houses, they don't have visuals of what was happening in Benue State and the carnage that had been done by these Fulani herders, until human rights activists went there by themselves and brought into government domain what is happening before the president. That should have been an immediate. You are saying you will reschedule your programs on Wednesday and go to Benue. That is a sign of insensitivity. That aside, we're looking at an administration that is not really understanding of the theoretics of democracy as we copied from America or Britain or whatever. Because these are a generation of so-called politicians who are self-centered. They are not thinking about leadership. Politics is selflessness. How many of them, the same Tinubu that was the governor of was the state again, Lagos State, when Olusegun Obasanjo was annihilating him, held onto his monthly allocation for about 30 months. Why didn't Tinubu decamp from ACN them or them to AD then to PDP? Why didn't he decamp? Why didn't Obasanjo? You see, what you are, and he's playing a kind of politics that I'm not happy about. You didn't decamp. Instead, you were strengthened and you had the support of people because you showed fidelity, you showed integrity, you showed competence, you showed capacity. At that time, you could have been gullible. You could have said, because of hungry, I beg, make I go decamp, go join PDP, make I go beg Obasanjo. But you didn't do that. You stood your ground. But now you are forcing governors. You are withholding allocations to them, threats of allocation, manipulative trending threats to hold on to power. You coerce them to dump their part, even to us, Akwa Ibom State, to us, Delta State. Now, are you telling me that in Delta State, the PDP, prior to the decamping, do not have a structure? They had the better structure. They had a structure. If you think you did that, you say, now, you could still support, you say, because you want to support Mr. President. Couldn't you have supported Mr. President from where you are as a PDP state or as a Labour Party state? Look at the show of shame in Akwa Ibom. Our politicians are highly responsible. Highly responsible. I stand to be corrected on this. They are highly responsible in playing politics because their interests are not people-based and not electorate-based, but it's more of their selfless ambition to remain relevant within the circle of power, not because they truly want to be part of governance. Look at your opening salvo. I felt bad with what you said but that's the reality. When you made us realize that we import everything that we didn't need to import because we have everything in raw materials here. How can we even import toothpick? How can we import liquid? We import. I'm tired. So there's a fundamental failure already in expectations. There's a fundamental failure in governance. There's a fundamental failure in performance. And there's a fundamental failure as Nigerians. We are very few people, like my brother here and some of them, that seem to have that fearless spirit to speak out. We speak out, we keep saying it, and like Daddy Chris in London doing his own bit from there, we say it, but we say it because it is the truth. They said conscience is an open wound. Only truth can heal. And if we don't take it with the gun in the gauntlet now, we're going to what are we with Nigeria? Are we going to be living for our children? It's sickening enough. We'll come to Delta State, and there's so much to talk about. The Nigerian context is really painful because the biggest shame in this third republic or fourth republic, as the case may be, is the National Assembly. The National Assembly has become an appendage of the executive. The judiciary has become an appendage of the executive. What a show of shame that we do not have opposition voices, that members of the National Assembly could come out, not one dissenting voice. I look at the Congress when there's a presentation or something. I look at the House of Commons when there's a presentation, and you could see one or two dissenting voices raising up their hand to say, no, this policy is wrong. But what you hear, on your mandate we shall stand. What a shame.
Let's think that. It's on a mandate. Yes, and thank you very much. I think it's so nice to listen to you, especially Wobek. I'm used to Mishak already, to give us a little bit of the background of this President Tinubu. And it's quite impressive. And my question would be, don't you think it would be easier for him to win the next election, if that is the trouble, if he had maintained that record of who Tinubu is, rather than what he's doing now? Who is advising him? And number two, second point you noted, sir, that is the one that touched me most. And I'm now going back to look. You see, who is the Minister of Agriculture? Does he have idea of agriculture? Let's follow all the states now. Look at your commissioners too. Look at your commissioner for agriculture in Delta State. What does he know about agriculture? Look at your commissioner for works. What does he know about construction? So you put people
That's a good one.
that are not supposed to be there. And that's why and that is why I cried out when I started this show. Now Nigeria is the only country that does not have to import anything. But it's the only country that imports everything. Because there's no way these people can be productive. How can you tell me? How can I give what I don't know? So, and that's why I'm going to ask you now, sir. You see, if Tinubu was able to reform Lagos, was able to run Lagos independently, with that great record we're talking about now, because Obasanjo was another oppressor. Obasanjo was saying, no, he was withholding allocation to him and all that. Tinubu stood his ground, and he was able to pull himself through. What is making the man to become another person now? What do you guys think is really responsible for this?
To me, I believe, they say power intoxicates. He's now the president. He's no longer a governor. So that presidency since 1999, Obasanjo got it wrong between the late 70s, because Obasanjo had the privilege of making Nigeria better, but he failed the youth of Nigeria. Because recall that we had the majority constitution, that's 1979 constitution. Prior to 79, 78, there was a majority constitution which has been amended, which is now currently the 1999 constitution has amended. And we had the minority report constitution, which was prepared by the late Bala Usman and Dr. Shegu Oshoba, currently Professor Shegu Oshoba, that has addressed the social aspect of the youth, the welfare system of the youth. Like you see in other social democratic countries, you see that as a citizen of UK, as a citizen of Sweden, Finland, and other social democratic nations, you see that the youth benefit on a monthly or weekly basis. There are benefits that comes to their bank account. There are checks that the government mails to them because of what? They are citizens. So the youth of Nigeria would have been enjoying that minority report, but Olusegun Obasanjo ensured that he didn't approve it. That is why we are stuck where we are today. that the youth are not involved in crime. The crime rate is increasing on a daily basis. Look at Delta State. At some point, even till now, there is no day that people are not kidnapped in Delta State. There is no day that people are not even killed in Delta State. People are abducted on a daily basis. And the government has no plan. The government has no solution. Even when we presented a solution to the government, which was not a rocket science, it was a very simple means of addressing the insecurity here in Delta State. But the governor did nothing about it. He played silent treatment to it. So with respect to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he has surrounded himself with a bunch of misfits. Those that are not professional, politicians that lack ideology, politicians that they have no relationship with ideology, because politics is all about ideology. Usually, the PDP, why, if you take note, in as much as President Obasanjo had his lapses, Goodluck Jonathan has his weaknesses, but then you will find out that the ideology of politics was left center as against the APC that is total left. Because if you take note, during the era of President Obasanjo, each time Adams Oshiomhole, the then Labour leader, protest against increment of fuel prices, you see that Obasanjo usually adjusts. Jonathan also adjusted when Professor Wole Soyinka and the Redeemed Church GO, Adeboye, came together to protest the astronomical increment in the prices of fuel and petroleum products. Goodluck Jonathan adjusted. But you see, since 2015 that President Buhari came into power, through this demonic APC that has continued to inflict pains on the common man in Nigeria. They have, look, they don't, even when you protest prices or cost of goods or petroleum products, they are going to even increase it. And that is the culture of this same President Tinubu. Every time the youth protest, okay, the Benue youth protested the reckless killings that happened to their people. What did the state and federal government do to them? They started shooting at them. They started tear gassing them. They started arresting them. Till now, lots of them are still in detention. What about Delta State? The youth in Abraka, no, the youth and indigenes of Abraka, the university students in collaboration with the indigenes, they came together to protest because the kidnapping was going on day by day. And each time this thing happened, they demand for 5 million, 10 million, 50 million. You know, it depends on the set of kidnappers that abducted you. Now they came out to say they need security protection from the government. What did the governor of Delta State, Governor Sheriff Oborevwori, did? He sent military men, he sent the policemen to go and tear gas them, to shoot them, to detain them, to destroy their cars, destroy their bicycles. You see that this government, they have no solution. Okay, currently as I speak to you, there has been a 3-day protest since the 16th of June. Light up Ndukwa Nation here in Delta State. Now, this Ndukwa Nation, take note that they have been producing oil that has kept this Nigeria running. They are the second largest deposit of natural gas in the world after Russia. This region is blessed, and the government has been enjoying from this region. But if I should tell you that this region, they don't have good hospitals, they don't have good road network, they don't have good schools, their schools, primary and secondary, are decaying, they don't have chairs, they don't have roofs, they don't have not even one higher institution.
And the deputy governor is from there.
The deputy governor,
the former Senate president.
No, okay, I'm coming. I'm going somewhere. Okay. I'm going somewhere. The deputy governor came on Arise TV to deceive the world that those that wanted to engage in this protest that has lasted for 3 days are not indigenous from Ndukwa. You can imagine. Now, instead of addressing the needs of these people, Ndukwa Nation doesn't even have not a state university or a federal university. They don't have any higher institution. The only higher institution there is Novena University, which is private. How many Nigerians can afford private university fees for their kids? Usually, education ought to be free in Delta State.
Yes, education
because
ought to be free.
This state is the richest state in Nigeria.
Yes,
apart from Lagos State that has a high IGR, Delta State is the richest state when you talk about allocation. If Delta State is collecting 120 billion naira on a monthly basis, Rivers State that is second is collecting 50 billion. You will now see the margin to let you know that this state is blessed. This state can do it. But there's not one thing that you will point in Delta State or Nigeria that the average youth is benefiting from the federal or the state government. So you see, if I were to be the governor of Delta State, what will I do? I would have approached this region, Ndukwa, that has contributed so much to the PDP, currently the defunct PDP. I call them PDP APC because they are into unholy merging, unholy marriage. Ndukwa Nation has contributed so much to this current administration in terms of electorate, in terms of their franchise. They have always supported this administration. And now to tell them thank you, look at what the governor is doing them, gaslighting them. The deputy governor also that's from that region, gaslighting them, claiming that they are not from the Ndukwa region, that they are foreigners. But today, if you go there, you see them speaking their language while they are protesting. The governor was supposed to invite, if I visit them there, bring them together, set up a committee for the Light Up Ndukwa, bring in the government, state government, stakeholders from the Ministry of Power and Energy. If you are to involve the Ministry of Works, State Ministry of Works, you involve them. Electricity is no longer exclusive list. Both the state and federal government can involve themselves in power generation as we speak. So why not come together and set up a committee, get them involved in the process, give them that sense of ownership, so that they don't need to protest.
They don't need to protest now.
They don't need to, because now they have started destroying their bikes, Okada. They have started burning they have started shooting at them, tear gassing them.
And you recall that this guy started on a peaceful process. The protest started peacefully until the police became violent. I'm from Ndukwa Nation, so I understand. Now, you didn't even reference something for the international audience to understand. The independent power project in Okpai powers up some parts of Abuja from Okpai. Meanwhile, the indigenous people do not have light. The indigenous people that get this gas from Ajip, from Okpai there, but they don't have light, only sparingly. So if you look at for between 16 to 25 years, Kwale has not had light. The whole of Ndukwa Nation has not had light. Then you still have people that come out and call themselves politicians of, I call them politicians of propaganda, because all they are after is to sell their principle on the template or platform of psychophancy, so that they will find for political job sustainability. And that is why we are in the situation we are today. Look at the trajectory, the folly in their decamping. There was nothing, that was no thinking, just like they just wake you up, you are diving into the river, you not check whether crocodile died. They, because the person just said dive into the water, the person said dive into the water, you dive into the water. Crocodile did the water, anaconda did the water, but you dove inside because of one idiot, because you want to show your loyalty. We have few honorable men, like Brutus said. We have few honorable men, very few. And it is painful to note that Delta State, as it is right now, is a state. That statement you made in the beginning of this program still rings a bell in my ear. Nigeria imports so much, but we don't need to import because we have everything. That you should have said it. Nigeria imports so much when we're supposed to be exporting things we're importing. We're supposed to be exporting it. It's sad enough. It's sickening enough. Because the pains, third day of the, and the funny thing, the rioters they were very peaceful because they created a lane for people coming from Mugeli to still be passing at a certain level. There was free movement. But they're angered. Even policemen burnt machines, bikes of people that came to protest, a very peaceful protest. They are right. These people live in opulence. In their country homes, go to their country homes all around because they have gotten solar and inverters. They don't care how the general, but election time they will not come and start sharing 10,000. That's because I must let you even know that my friend here, Wong Box, I was surprised. He's a PDP, he's a government appointee. He's an executive assistant to the governor, but he resigned from the PDP because he said he's not decamping with them. He resigned. Himself and Harrison Gwanushu, he told Harrison Gwanushu, I have resigned, better go on. Very few of them, and 1 or 2 or 3 of them. When we talk like this, some issues like this, especially issues like when I was coming today, we said that You and Daddy Chris, you're of the same breed. Firebrand. We need to say it because these people, they pretend to be deaf and dumb, but they hear. They know what they are doing. We are in the context that we are today as a people because of I don't know whether to call them bad leaders. I don't know whether if I call them politicians. You will tell me they're not politicians.
So what I'm seeing now is sometimes, I come on the show one day and I said it is sometimes an insult to call some of these people politicians. That we are insulting politicians. So people call them thieves. They're not thieves. A good thief will steal well. You understand? So that's why I want to go back to what Wombok said at the beginning of this show. Maybe that is where we are. When these people were coming, say, I want to be governor, I want to be president. We cannot blame ourselves for Tinubu because what would have expected that with what Tinubu have done? Not many of us voted for Tinubu anyway. You understand? Because we're hearing Peter Obi and Tinubu. I didn't know were the two things. Not Atiku. Forget Atiku. In my book, sorry about that. Anyway, in my own book, that would be me. My own take is how come that a person become a governor and you guys didn't really interrogate him? Did we vote for these people because they are from my place? And now that is what happened. Because in Delta State, the governor will go around. And Okowa being who he is, he decided to who will be his successor. Fine. We don't want to go with that. Then, now look at, let's go back to Commissioner's cabinet. Oboribori's cabinet.
Governor's cabinet.
Because if Oboribori have a plan, this is where I start from. I am going to be the governor of Delta State, and in my 4 years in office, this is what I will do. I will pick on men that will help me to realize that. I'm not sure I will put a politician in the office of the Commissioner for Works. The guy there now, that guy is a journalist. He's the Commissioner for Works. That's the one I know. And what does he know? What kind of advice is he going to bring on the table? How is he going to actually indigenize it? So that even the ministry, because the direct labor agency is there, only Delta State have all this good, beautiful structure. Can the direct labor agency be doing some of this job? Now we're giving it to Julius Berger and we are clapping this administration. I saw him last time. Is it today everybody love me? I saw them in China right now, trying to bring in development home, infrastructure home. You see, I'm confused. So you come in to be governor of infrastructure. What was your plan? Because it starts from the personal. You see what I said? I said what we need is Moses. Because if Oboribori is clear in where he's taking us, he will pick on the right people and pick on the project. Not everybody you throw at him will be taking it. He will be firm. This is where we're going. But then you don't know what you're doing. Let's put this one here, okay? Let's put this one. Oh, it's from your place, so that they will vote for us next time. We'll put him there. So that's exactly what we are. Perhaps that one person I'm going to blame now. You are the same people that brought us this Oboribori to us.
Yes. I always blame him, please.
So why did you bring him?
Can I come in?
Yes, sir.
Yes, continue.
I happen to be very close to this current governor of Delta State. I'm also close to have a good relationship with.
My phone that keeps ringing. No, we want to hear this because it's very important we hear from Wombok on this issue. Because the Wombok, the one that brought us here, they led us to where we are now. Okay. We missed part of that.
I campaigned between 2022 and 2023 with both governors, the ex-governor and the current governor. We went around together in the 25 local governments of Delta State, areas of Delta State. And we campaigned with the MORE agenda. Now, MORE agenda is an acronym for meaningful development, opportunity for all, realistic reform, and enhanced peace and security. But today, if we should...
I want you to go through that again, sir, because we want to pick it one by one. Unfortunately, the governor is not here to defend his existing. The MORE sounds sweet, very sweet. The MORE agenda, meaningful development.
Yeah.
Repeat that for us again, sir.
The MORE agenda currently is more excuses. because the M stands for meaningful development, the letter O stands for opportunity for all, the R stands for realistic reform, the E stands for enhanced peace and security. But today, what we have is more excuses, more neglect, more silent treatment, more intimidation, more coercion, more manipulation of the system. As we speak, I had to
Yes, sir.
resign from my appointment as a senior special assistant on civil societies and NGOs on the 25th of April 2025, when I discovered that on the 29th of April, the governor was going to officially decamp from PDP to APC. Now, we had a duty of care to consult with the people of Delta State, because prior to Governor Sheriff Oborevwori ascending to the seat of the governor, we went around the 25 local government to campaign to the people of Delta State to vote for us, to the electorate, to give us their vote, of which 20 local government election was won, as against 5 that Senator Obioma Agege won. So PDP emerged as the winner of the 2023 election. But lo and behold, look at the unholy marriage that the governor and His Excellency Senator Ifeanyi Okowa miscalculated. We slept overnight as PDP. We woke up as APC on that fateful day. So, exactly. And it's so painful. People are not happy. Deltans are not happy. Deltans are just saying they can't wait for 2027 to come. Let them vote all these men out. I had to resign for my integrity, for my reputation, for my social capital. I had to. It was not easy for me to resign because I happen to be very close to the governor. Even 2 days ago, the governor sent me a message that I'm creating evil plots and blackmailing him because of what? I'm now exposing things that are not right in the government. Funny enough, even while I was still with him in the government, when you go and check my digital footprint, you will see that I've always stood for the truth. I've always been saying the truth, because before I accepted appointment, it took me time before.
All right, you know, as about being what it is.
Eventually, I accepted the appointment on the condition that nobody is going to tamper with my human rights advocacy, because I am the national coordinator of Young Nigerian Rights Organization. I am the lead activist for Rights and Anti-Corruption Forum. Currently, I am the co-convener of Nigerian Civil Society Alliance for Democratic Change. So we had an agreement that my advocacies will not be tampered with, because my office was in charge of all human rights activists and all NGOs, World Bank, United Nations, World Health Organization, and other NGOs, local and international. I was the one coordinating these organizations. So when I saw that the social contract that we agreed with the people, we were failing, because I brought in a lot of contribution to the system. Okay, for instance, we are facing housing crisis currently in Delta State. A duplex now goes for 13-14 million naira per year. 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom goes for 2.5 million naira per year. How many civil servants can afford this amount?
Even businessmen.
So you see that the government even failed in supporting our people for housing. On the 1st of November 2024, the government went into demolition of some houses that they claimed that those residents there built on government land close to the government house, of which the government had the opportunity to perfect or regulate the land ownership for them. They had that privilege. They knew that there was housing crisis. The House of Assembly that has the exclusive right to make laws on the rent review, to address the tenancy laws, to ensure that they protect the rights of the tenants. They were all sleeping, because you know, of course, you know, they are rubber stamp House of Assembly members. That's what we have here in Delta State, because nobody is challenging the government. Even when there was APC in the house, nothing was really happening. So these politicians, they lack ideology. I brought idea of climate change, how to improve our climate action, for us to attend the Dubai conference, World Conference for NGOs. I was sidelined Even the then PDP state chairman, Kingsley Esiso, he attended the event and it was sponsored by the state government. Whose idea was that? My idea. Because I was the one that gave this idea to the governor. I brought another idea of open government partnership. Let the open government partnership, international developmental partners, go into low-cost housing construction in Delta State. Because El-Rufai, while he was still governor, benefited from the open government partnership, of which I happen to be very close to the head of open government partnership in Nigeria at Abuja. I happen to be very close to her, and she assured me that they were going to partner with our state government if our state government should give them the privilege and opportunity to come and develop low-cost housing for our people here in Delta State, so that the civil servants and other residents can start payments through flexible payment in the mortgage. But what did the governor do? The governor minuted on that memo that the chief of staff should address it. The chief of staff, what did he do? He put KIV on the memo, which is keep in view. Till date, that memo is still, it was silenced. Every idea that we brought to the governor to address the pains of the common man and women in Delta State, it were all silenced. That was why when I saw that they were going into an unholy marriage with APC, because since 2015 to date, APC has been inflicting pains on the common man in Nigeria, and they have no solution. They have no direction. All they know is how to loot and loot and loot. You saw what David Oyedepo said recently, that he has never seen any government that is more corrupt than this present administration. That was the word of David Oyedepo a few days ago. So you see that we are in trouble, Nigerians are in trouble. But the good news is, come 2027, the election is going to be between hungry and angry Nigerians, whether in Nigeria or in diaspora, versus the APC. That is how it's going to be. And the election is going to be too big to rig. Currently, as I speak to you, Delta State, they are stealing data using a fraudulent, a scam Tinubu empowerment, which is not existing, which they cannot defend. They are giving 100,000 naira to 400 youths per ward in Delta State currently. And their goal is to ensure that they collect NIN and PVC for up to 10,000 youths per ward. The goal is to use this data for slow rigging for 2027. Who are those sponsoring or funding this fraudulent scam data stealing empowerment? The local government council chairman and the NOGE. That's the two conduit pipe that the state governments are using to collect data, to steal data that they want to use to, because the mindset of these governors that are migrating to APC is that Tinubu is going to rig the election for them. That is the mindset. They don't have plans to say that they want to come and solve the Nigerian problem. No, their goal is that they are going to rig 2027 election. But the good news is that I want Nigerians to recall that in Delta State in 2023 election, it was Labour Party that won, the Obedience.
Yes.
In Lagos State, the Obedience won. In Abuja FCT, they won. In Rivers State, despite Wike manipulated those results, yes, it was Labour Party that won. In Kano State, the NNPP, Kwakwaso, they won. Rivers State could not protect their votes. But in Delta State, in Lagos State, in FCT and NNPP in Kano, they protected their votes. And that's why we started the movement, the Nigerian Civil Society Alliance for Democratic Change. What's our goal? Our goal is to educate and enlighten Nigerian people against voter appetite, to let them know that if these states can come together, the youth organize themselves, they supervise themselves, they administer themselves, they executed their votes and protected their votes apart from Rivers State. That means that if the 36 states of Nigeria, the youth can come together and engage themselves and organize themselves, it means that the election is going to be too big to rig. Currently, we've been able to set up state coordinators for the northern Nigeria. We just rounded up that of the southern Nigeria yesterday, and hopefully next week we are having a conference at Abuja so that we can meet each other and get to know each other, and we'll start mobilization.
See, One Box, it's so nice to I'm happy you're taking me, you're leading me here. I'm so happy. Because that brings me to the most important thing I really want us to look at. Now, we know there is unholy marriage. Politicians will be politicians. They are not even qualified to become politicians. They are not even qualified to be leaders. So we've been able to establish that. These guys lack vision. One would have saved Oboriwori, because I'm still confused. Who was going to stop Oboriwori from winning the next election? PDP was on ground, well structured. How was he going to lose? To who? That's the thing I didn't understand. Well, he made a step because,
No,
like you said,
excuse me, let me come in. He didn't migrate because of winning the next election. He migrated to protect Senator Ifeanyi Okowa because of the fraud, because of the misappropriation of the Super Deck fund that he was petitioned at the EFCC, and it was obvious that that petition was championed by the late E.K. Clark, the Papandev boss. He knew that he was going to end up in prison. And you know, Adams Oshomole always said it in the past that when you come to APC, while he was the national chairman of the APC party, he said that your sins are forgiven. So Senator Okowa knows that if he migrates to the APC, that his sins will be forgiven. At some point, after I resigned, I was invited. I was offered a lot of benefits that they just want me to do one thing for them. I should stop talking about the 1.3 trillion of the Super Deck petition that is at EFCC on the social media. I told them to give me 3 days. Let me think about it. Because I wanted to just walk away from that meeting. You know, as a wise man, I told them what they wanted to hear.
Yes.
And 3 days later, they reached out to me. I did not pick their call. I did not return their call till date. Because I'm not interested in getting money.
In fact,
I'm not a man that believes
in boss, we have a job to do together. Aside this broadcast today, the Okowa allegation is something that cannot go away. I'm coming to that. We will do that in this show and after this show. It's so clear, Nigerians. It's not very clear to you, especially those of you Nurobo people. Let me talk to them. Oboriwori decamping have nothing to do with winning the next election. He decamped to protect his boss. Taking all your destiny doesn't matter. Only Okowa must survive. We're coming to that another day. I am very confused that a governor who is sure of winning because Oboriwori has all the support, who was going, that's what I keep saying, who was going to defeat this guy? Where was he running? To where? Let me add him back. Where was he running? That was it. He decamped to protect Okowa. Okowa led the way. Oboriwori, where you come from? Tell me what you know they carry last. You carry last for this one. You carry last, bros. We go talk. But you know what? At the EFCC, in fact, Okowa and if don't worry, you know what will happen? President will give them a chance. Because by the heat is coming from the international community on the investigation of Okowa, how he spend that money that the EFCC now, President will come out in hand because he doesn't want the international community to look at him in a bad way. We're coming on that. And I am going to be very, very good. You know, you guys know me. I'm not going to let that rest. That is not going to rest. I may not have these resources now. I've got one today. When I have Wobo, you guys are in trouble because this is the coalition I need. Now, let's come to what I want to talk about. Organizing. I still cannot understand why Asaba cannot argue. The network is still very bad there. So as soon as it gets better, I'll bring him back, Asaba. And listen. But yesterday, I had the opportunity to say, and that's what I wanted to share with Wobo, and I think he can hear me. And I do hope that their network gets better quickly. I almost confess here that let's remove this first. Let your network get better, then we will add it. I was actually saying that something is happening. If it's on the political level, the president of this country needs to be scared. Tinubu, you are right to be scared. The only thing you would have done is to try to do what you do best, what you did in Lagos. Today, nobody was actually going to stop you from winning the second election. But I will now choose to victimize people. Now you're attacking anybody that does anything. Look at what you're doing. Forcing governors to be on your side. How is that going to win you the next election? Now, let me give you the litmus test, Mr. President. This young boy, VDM, is now better than you. He's performing better than you. He has impacted life more than you, Mr. President. I think you should be worried. You and your renewed hope is not working. VDM is doing better than you. And that's why I came out and said, maybe VDM for president. Why did I say so? And that is how it's going to start to. A very small slogan. Someone like VDM, work with Womburg and with the other young boy, and they come in coalition. You are gone. The luck you have now is they are still divided. If these people come together, you are finished. Like you listen to what Womburg said. On last election, Delta State went for the Labour Party. Actually, it was not the Labour Party, it was the movement. Edo State, the movement. Lagos State, the movement. You are from Lagos State, yet they want you there. You should be worried. And if this, I don't know how I'm going to beg these young people to come together and form a coalition. You see, we don't, because I don't see, you know, in all, I will be saying now, very dark man for president. Yes, I've said it, and I'm not afraid to say so. Because he's the only young boy now that can enter a place and everybody begin to follow. And that is what you need. Jesus Christ said, follow me and I'll make you fishers of men. Very dark man has fishers, is a fishers of men now. If we need to build on it, my people, don't worry. Don't do anything. That's my saying today. And I'm not afraid. And I'm not ashamed to say so. Very dark man is a young man. I don't know why the Asaba is not really joining me right now. All right. What did I say this? In terms of the crowd, very dark man have the crowd. And the crowd is going to be better if we support him. Now, let's put it this way. Maybe you guys don't see what I see. If only very dark man would say, I want to set up an NGO, and donation begin to flood in. He has not gotten donation from us in the diaspora. The whole of the black community in the rest of the world. Let me tell you, every black man on earth is interested in Nigeria. Maybe that is the thing that you should be worried about. Every single black man wearing my skin is interested in Nigeria. Whether you're a Jamaican, whether you're in America, you're interested in Nigeria. Know that now. So, because Nigeria is the biggest black nation, it's the largest black nation on earth, you can't toy with that country. It's bigger than you. Tinubu, listen. So, if we can't play with it, so someone like Ben Darkman may not be the candidate we want, but he's better. Now, all we need to do, like I always say to them, the young people, Ben Darkman, you are still fighting politically. Now, I would have done something. I would want to fight it economically. Oh my God. I will follow the style of them because Gabi. I will not fight with you. I will create a pattern. Mary, as I was sleeping, something came to me today, and I want to share this. You know, in the last show I said, let us start with agriculture. So everybody, if you own a farm, show me the land and I'll cultivate it, right? Mary, that would be me. I'll be tired as a government. This is what I'll do. I will run the problem of agriculture in 2 tiers. 2 ways, Mary. One, I will start by setting up the Bank of Agriculture in Nigeria. Me, the president of Nigeria, we set up a Bank of Agriculture. That's how it works. Now, that bank is solely meant to fund anything agriculture. Okay. From that bank, I will take my loan. Even me as a president, the federal government will take a loan. The state will take a loan. The local government will take a loan. You understand? We all go to work. Private people will go and take a loan, Mary. And the instruction is under my supervision. Every loan must be returned with interest. And we want to see what you do with the money. If you spend the money on the agriculture, and even if you lose, you're forgiven. But if you take and travel abroad, go marry a new wife, you go to prison. Come and take the money. Mary, you do that with only agriculture. You come to number 2, housing. See, the guy talk about housing. Today, I was listening to music in the UK currently. You know what the UK government is trying to do? They're now setting up a unique bank for housing. Mary, just like as if they were speaking my mind. The bank for housing is to fund anything housing. Now, imagine something that will happen in Nigeria today. You know how much Nigerian boys, the real estate sector, have done well for themselves. What they don't have is money. If you set up a bank for housing, meaning they will not only acquire the land, they will start to develop it. And they begin to rent it out. The money will come back to the bank. Mary, how the government will be doing my own, the private sector will be taking loan. The state government will be taking, it's a must though. You will not be a governor under my presidency, whether you are my party or not, that you don't take a loan from that place to do your own sector, you are in trouble. That is when you see what is called in fact, if the president say, all state governor, Mary, listen to me now. All state governor go and take a loan. The loan is there at the bank. Take the loan, develop your housing, return the money. Maybe imagine how many state governors will be building houses today. Estates. Look at where Nigeria will be in a few years. A small bank, the money is coming back to the bank. Maybe how many people will be employed? Under the housing sector alone.
Even people that didn't have interest in agriculture will begin to pick interest. That's one good thing about it.
You see,
yes, because nobody
I'm not
wants to
leaving
be
it for them alone. So the federal government will have their own farm, the state government will have their own farm, local government will have a farm, individuals will have a farm. Because the money is there. Go and take the loan. And the loan is not for free. It's not where you go and play.
You have to put your energy into work. You have to work so that you can pay back. But that's the truth.
Exactly.
But it makes things easier, of course. You know that, okay, if I work...
Why will a young boy want to go and do something stupid? Or why will a girl go and do wrongs if he can take a loan and own a small fish farm?
That's why I say even people that actually do not have interest in it to begin to pick interest. Because, okay, this one will be easier for me. That's it. Because you wouldn't want to sit back at home and be jobless when you know that if I take a loan, I can do something for myself, I can be productive. You know, people that they don't have interest in agriculture, it's because they've not had the opportunity to venture into it. If they do, you know that almost everybody have interest in it. And that's just
now I just make two. If I give you other instances, you understand? So as a government, it's your duty to be productive, but you're going to lead the way. Not Tinubu sitting down in that house. That man is a waste of space. I'm sorry, you are a waste of space. And maybe you don't leave it for the private people alone, because me as a president, I'm going to take my own loan through my Ministry of Agriculture. The guy, Wopok said something big today that pains me. Go and look at the Minister for Agriculture. What did he study? Mary, as they're talking to us now, look at them. Who is your minister? Who is your commissioner for agriculture? Who is your commissioner for finance? Who is your commissioner for, for housing? They don't know anything about the department. You bring a fool to come and head this in Delta State. The guy that is even the commissioner for the one I know, I don't know many of them. Sorry, guys, I have to pick on you because you're the one I'm talking to there. He's a journalist. And how can you handle something that comes from now? You see what they're doing? They're going to learn. So it's anything Russia tell them that is correct. We will not be able to scrutinize it. The man talking does not know anything about construction. You are a journalist, for God's sake. What are you doing there? You see, Mary, it doesn't mean you don't have a place. There's a commissioner for you. Go and be commissioner for information. Where is he in two places? I'm coming to you guys. So, hey, this is Daddy Chris. Make we go tie one trouser when the time reach. But I never reach that one. I can be bitter. And it's coming. Because you cannot do this. Maybe imagine. And what we say now, do you know Bodiwori would have won the next election without any sweat? That was why I was confused. Okay, to the ordinary person, the construction of road was a big thing for them. It may not be for me, but the ordinary dentists were happy with him. Why did he decamp? He would decamp to save Okowa. On a good day, have you ever heard anything about the Okowa money? The answer is no. So I come to this. I'm happy you guys are back. One more. This is my proposal. I know you guys are more of the socialist side, but I come with this. You mentioned something on housing, and I just unleashed my proposal for housing, or how I think a state should be run. I presented it on this, and I want you guys to listen to me. I did only two already, because we can't do all. I said if I am the president, the first thing when I come is the Bank of Agriculture. They have the African Bank of Agriculture, they have it too. That one is not my own. I will set up the Bank of Agriculture. The federal government, the ministry, will go and borrow the money, because they'll borrow the money with me. From there, to do their own farming. They will account and return the money. Every state government will go and take your loan. It's a must. Because you're not coming down here, my people are hungry. Nigeria will be fed. Every state governor will go and take a loan and do their farm. Every local government take your loan. It's my money. I'm the one who put it there. And I will monitor that money to the last. You go and marry with the money, you go to prison. You'll be like Okowa. You'll be on the run. You'll decamp. At least you'll not have a peace of mind. That would be simple now. Then I said, okay, let's do that with housing. You know, currently in the UK, as UK is, they just set up a bank of housing to address the housing sector. Then I am thinking in my mind here that if the federal government will set up that thing, and the federal government, will, through the Ministry of Housing, will not borrow that money. Don't go away, guys. Borrow that money. If all, you see how many young people now that, you know how many housing estates, how many real estate businesses in Nigeria that are underfunded. They have the potential. So they can bring the loan and build their estate. And it should not be only private people alone. You, the state governor, you must take your loan and build your housing. Your own may come back slowly, but as soon as you finish building, you allocate it to your staff, who you collect the money from every month. That's how we pay for housing here. It's a long-term thing. That's why the government is investing in it. The money will not come back quick, but you know what? As we are building our land, we are creating jobs, we are making money back slowly. That is sustainable development. What is sustainable in what Tinubu, you know, other than land, even the tax, none of it collector. What kind of government do you people run? This is why I said the biggest trouble we have is who you actually vote into office. If the person leading the affair does not have a vision, if Moses don't know where he's going, where was he going to take them to? Moses said, let's go. Wait to where? Moses was sure. We're going to cross the sea. Even as difficult as the sea, if we were there, we're going to cross it. Does Tinubu know where we're going? Does Oboriwari know where we're going? That's the question I ask. Because if they do, if I know where I'm going, I will not marry an old woman if I still want to have a child. I marry a young girl I marry because I want a baby. If you don't get monopause, you never give me baby. Not lie.
And if you know if I'm old woman, you know.
I can see that. I can see that. What I'm trying to say, what more can you guys get? I'm getting frustrated. And it got to a point where I have to say, let me add this before I let you guys come in. It got to a point where I say maybe very dark man should be groomed for president. You know why? I know it's not the kind of, sometimes the Jesus that came, it was the son of a carpenter. He said, it's not that son of that carpenter. They were looking down on him. But it's the one that saved the world. The son of a carpenter. Because Jesus Christ was pushing in the right button. People died. I've seen a little bit of the boy I thought. People died, were killed in Benue. Not one politician.
Although I don't know, I think he doesn't even have the interest. But if that same VDM comes out today and declare interest for wanting to be a president, people will not vote for him. That's Nigeria for you. Right now, maybe he's fighting. He has people supporting.
What did I use the word VDM?
People will not vote for him. That's the truth.
No, they
That's
will.
Nigeria for you.
Mary, the mistake you make is they will not. They will.
They will not.
I want to talk to.
It's like Peter Obi. The first year, everybody was supporting Peter Obi, but this year now, his name is down a bit.
No. Peter did not do the right thing. I told you, had Peter done the right thing. So let me tell you how VDM going to win the election. VDM is not going to win the election if you continue just to fight
Nigeria.
Like
they will not vote for him. That's
no.
Not during election. There's one spirit that comes during the election.
What do need to do to win the election?
Spirit are complaining now. They will not be complaining again during that time. That's everybody wants to fight for their own selfish interest. How much you are going to gain from how much you are going to gain from you. Let's tell ourselves the truth. He might
she has a point.
For Nigeria, but they will not vote for him when it's time. We know that this person is good, but will not put him there.
No, she's right. She's right.
If you don't have anything to give,
I disagree.
It's not about a game of interest, even to citizens. They're not getting money from you. They're not voting.
Yes, Madam Woman. Let me say this. You know what? Even we saw it with all of them, the day of the Solari and our famous lawyer that took the Nigerian government to court. You know what they were doing? They were only fighting it on the political ground. You don't win election on political ground. Now, if you want Nigeria to follow you, what do? You create opportunity for them with their own money. Oh my God. Listen to me. You create opportunity for Nigerians with Nigerian own money, and they will become your son and your daughters.
Even if
You know how
opportunity-
they're going to win election. Very
even
wait.
if Nigeria votes you, do you not have INEC? No, we have INEC. Have you cleaned the electoral process?
INEC don't have it. INEC, no,
You
they
have
don't born
INEC,
INEC.
and you have courts. You have courts that you go to that you never get justice from.
Mary, where is INEC? Where is INEC when the people are dying?
Hello, can I come
Who
in?
born INEC?
Can I come in?
Now. Listen, let me finish.
Can I
know
come
you guys
in?
going to support Mary. Mary is going to talk like that. But let me say this way. You will not win the election if you just come and say, oh, these people are thieves. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, you're going to create opportunities. Let me say now, if Very Dark Man will start with what I say, the strategy I just, if Peter has done what I said to Peter Obi, Peter, Nigeria don't have an airline. This was my proposal to Peter in those days. You failed the election. Nigeria don't have airline. We need airline. Supposing you just say, I'm going to create Nigerian air with money from people, from Nigerians. Come and invest in Nigerian air.
You need a license from the government to do that.
It will not be approved.
It will not be
It will not be
approved.
approved. That's
The
a
government,
dream.
Approve it.
government will not allow that happen.
Who is not going to approve
You
it?
need a license. The
No, no, they
government.
cannot.
It-
Nobody
They are
does
going to
that.
rig it.
they will
Listen,
rig it. Won't
This is
happen.
not work.
In Nigeria,
It will
we
not
are.
Wait. So Tinubu
I beg to
will
differ.
stop Nigerian airline. Who stop this man now from running his airline?
That is his
Who's
airline, not Nigerian airline. If he wants to run OB airline, it's a different thing.
Yeah, okay,
not
fine.
to say
Call
Nigerian
it
airline.
either any name you call it, but it's not going to be owned by him. What I'm saying now is that it's not owned by you. It's owned by a group of Nigerians. Are we not allowed to form cooperative in Nigeria? Are we
It will not
allowed?
be approved.
It's difficult. You
Can
are
I come
comfortable
in?
in the UK.
Can I come in?
Come in, sir.
Can I come in?
Yes,
Yes,
good.
sir.
Let me start from her postulation about VDM. The fact remains that you will be shocked that Nigerians will not vote for him. She was right. One thing I know about Nigerians, when it comes to election, most times, they will prefer you to give them money, they will go and vote for you. So, except there will be room for provision, financial inducements, even while you are their choice, and there's also financial inducements. This is Nigeria, this is third world country, this is how it works. Then with respect to the agricultural aspects, I beg to also differ that your idea about going to take loan, I don't think that should be the right thing to do because of the stress of servicing local and international loans. It's not easy to service loans. So with respect to the agriculture, the solution is that maybe you don't know. On an annual basis, the government has allocation, provision for various crops, such as maize, for instance. When President Buhari was in power, he banned the importation of maize and mandated the CBN to fund farmers that grow maize. And when you farm it, also know that when you are exporting in Nigeria, you are not taxed. Instead, the government gives you incentive to encourage you from the CBN. The CBN credits you money depending on the amount of what you are exporting. You are not taxed for exporting food crops or produce that you produce in Nigeria. Then, how to address the agricultural aspects is, for instance, here in Delta State, we have a place called Igbodo, Ika North East, the local government of the former governor, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa. Their soil is very good for citrus, for fruits, for watermelon, for tomatoes, for pepper. What do? You go into a PPP with Chinese companies. There are a lot of agricultural companies in China that are interested in setting up factories at the source of the produce that they need to process and get their products. Now, you go into a PPP with them, coming to Igbodo, then seedlings will be given to the farmers in that Igbodo for free, such that upon harvesting, the company is going to buy all the produce that they harvested from them. The company is also, the state government is also going to allocate hectares of land. Of course, the land in Delta State belongs to the state government, to these companies, so that they will start production and exporting. They will export. Then locally, we are still going to consume tea, tomato, and ketchup from them. That's a means of IGR. That's a means of boosting our currency value also internationally, our exchange rates. That's one. That's for Igbodo. Then you come to Asaba, the capital, which means South local government. You find out that there used to be this pharmaceutical drug called Mismag, produced by late Chief Senator Waje, popularly called Vofmed. His company name was Vofmed. He was making this Mismag. And how does he get the materials? He gets it from Asaba and Oko. Why? Because the soil is made by the river is made up of kaolin, which is the material, the source of the material for making the pharmaceutical drugs. That means that it will give room for the pharmaceutical industries to be set up here that will be producing stomach mismag drugs and other related drugs that will be made from kaolin. Also, it will also give the arts and culture platform for our people that are into artwork, sculpture, to go into sculpture work that they will be exporting to the Chinese or other parts of the world. Also, ceramic industries will also come to produce teacups, breakable plates, toilet seating, bathroom tap for bathing.
Yes.
You know, that's another means of production for our people. That will also create employment for the youth in these local governments. So each local government will discover what they know they can do better. What Ughelli now, their soil has high volume of silicon. They can set up solar-powered panel companies there. We can be exporting solar panels locally. The cost of solar panels will now be cheaper for us to purchase, since we are producing it here in Ughelli, in Delta State or Nigeria. The youth there will also get jobs. There are other produce and products that you can make from silicon, the use of high deposit of silicon soil. So Delta State is blessed that we can go into PPP, you know, with the Chinese, mostly the Chinese government, because the Chinese government has lots of money to go around, lots of investment.
We don't need Chinese.
No, because they are the ones with the money. Even the American government goes to the Chinese to collect loan, investigate. Yes. Most of the world goes to China to collect grants.
That is America for you. You see, well, I agree. I'm happy. So when we have something in common, in other words, we have what it takes. I mean, the approach might be slightly different. I will not approach, if I were in the Buhari government, I will not be giving you money to go and farm, and when you export, you do this. We talk of sustainability. You understand? There's a way you construct a business. It must be, okay, how do I get back as a government? And how do I give back to the people? If you don't give back to the government will fail. So the CBN cannot continue to give and give and give. Let's come to this beautiful analysis this our brother gave to us.
The CBN is also making money. No, the CBN, they are also benefiting, because now our currency regulation, they are making money from our currency. Now has value. People will not borrow because other companies borrow money. They'll make profit from interest. And don't forget that the CBN are the ones that will take care of payment processing. They are going to be deducting their payment processor fee charges. They are means of the CBN benefiting from the transaction between both the buyers and the sellers. So it's not as if the CBN is just there and working for the farmers. The CBN has their way of still benefiting from the process.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So, in other words, I'm happy now that we can see how the agri sector in Nigeria can benefit all. I agree with the PPA. You understand? Bringing the Chinese in. I would say, okay, you know, it's good to bring them in at the beginning. After some time, why do we have a school of agriculture? How many schools of agriculture do we have? They cannot be all idiots. If you give them the right training, the right orientation, if you go to uni, you go and study mass comm, you go to my platform, and I'm going to give you the orientation so that you can fit in well. So they need the right orientation to fit in into anything we want to do. Like you rightly said, the kind of resources in our land is not what they have in China. So it needs to be adapted to what we have. So you've already been able to analyze that. The question I asked you, you were in government for some time. Why did people try to do that? Were the government not listening?
No, I did
Does
it.
the government
I
even
did
have
it.
this idea?
I did it.
Okay.
No, I said it earlier. While I was still with the governor, I happened to be very close to the governor. The governor was my friend. We even eat, dine, and wine together. See, I presented these ideas. I presented a lot of ideas to the governor through memos. But guess what? The governor is surrounded by serpents, by scorpions, that they are deceiving him. They are telling him what he wants to hear. Okay, yesterday, there is this media fraudulent PR that the Commissioner for Agriculture did, that the government is investing in agriculture, which is a lie, which is political agriculture. Because the fact remains that most times when government gives some of all this produce to these political farmers, they go about to sell it. They don't plant these crops by themselves. Go and investigate. Let the government bring the evidence of the data. Let the government tell us the means of support that they are claiming that they give to these farmers. Let us see the farmers. Let us see get the others. Look, if government actually wants to invest in agriculture, in the farmers, they are not supposed to do it, this program inside government house or at the Dome Event Center in Asaba. Every farmer must not come to Asaba. You take the produce to them at their farms, at their local region, at their community. You don't come and be giving us PR. You don't come and be deceiving people as if for the camera. Okay, the governor has been into road construction, fake substandard road construction. As I speak to you, at Ezene Avenue in Asaba, there are a lot of streets that were constructed lately, let's say 4 months ago. If I should take you there, if I should go and make footage and send to you, the roads have started eroding away. 4 months. I'm a trained structural engineer.
We need to embarrass them.
I studied structural engineering, civil engineering at Ambusali University, Eboma, Edo State. I graduated 2008. I'm a very well experienced structural engineer professionally. Now, the lifespan and my master's, I did it in highway and transportation engineering. Look, if you want to construct a road, upon construction, when you finish your construction, the expectancy of the lifespan of the road is 18 to 25 years before it starts eroding away. If you take note, in Ubuluku in Anocha South Local Government, connecting to Obio, connecting to Ogwashuku, the old Asaba Benin Express Road, that road has been constructed since the 70s. Do you know that road is still existing till date? Because of what? The materials, the strength of the materials, quality materials. Even the drainage that they did at this Ezene Avenue stroke Federal Mami Market to Federal College Road. Do you know that the fancy drainage that was constructed, a very fancy one, was just like 2 NEPA poles or less? Because of commissioning, they just did it at both sides. Normally, in the contract, if you go and check, that drainage is supposed to stretch to the end of the road, down the long streets. But because of it's a fraudulent substandard contractor, because the government, they are not hands-on, they don't follow up project monitoring to ensure that the materials are professionally used for the construction of these projects. You see that they go about snapping pictures for Instagram and Facebook and social media, whereas in reality, that is not what we have. That was why the state government were so desperate that they had to remove the former Commissioner for Information agenda, the former PDP Publicity Secretary. They now brought in my friend Shasaniagu, the current Commissioner for Works Rural, a journalist. They brought him on board because he's a professional stuntman for fake PR, for fake fraudulent PR. He's good at that.
We call it image laundering. Image laundering. What did they do?
They knew that they were failing. They knew that they were not going to be able to meet up with the social contract, the more agenda. So they need someone that could ensure that the Instagram pictures are beautiful, the Facebook pictures are beautiful. They were so desperate. Delta State government was so desperate that they went as far as going to Arise to pay Ruben Abati. 2 weeks ago, they brought him to come and lie, to come and deceive the world that they invested in infrastructure. Which infrastructure? How many? if we should compare the amount of money coming to the state on a monthly basis from the federal government or the IGR, what's the proportion? Is it proportionate? Now, Reuben Abati lied to the world on Arise TV, deceived the world on traditional media and social media, new media, that Delta State government invested in our education. Reuben Abati should come and tell us if we have 300 schools in Asaba or in Delta State, and the government only attended to 2 of those schools, and you visited those 2 schools, whereas 298 are decayed. Children don't have chairs in our primary schools and secondary schools in Delta State. Parents are now the ones buying chair and table for their children. Most schools in Asaba, in Delta State, in the capital, children sit on bare floor. Secondary school students don't even have board, chalkboard to write notes. It's as bad as they don't have windows, they don't have doors. Look, the negligence from the government to these schools is 100%. I can send you footage after this interview so that you will see the state of Asaba Secondary School. The alumni that graduated from the school are now donating 5,000 naira. 5,000 naira. As I speak, they have been able to donate. The target is 400,000 for Asaba Secondary School. They now have shortage of 75,000 naira as at 48 hours ago. Imagine ex-students donating to buy classroom boards because the classrooms in Asaba Secondary School. What about Isoma Onyobi, the late Isoma Onyobi, the former Yasi of Asaba, that died less than 2 years ago? His secondary school, they don't have chair, they don't have table. I personally sent it to the governor. That look at what is going on. This was almost a year ago. Until date, nothing was done to it. I sent it to the governor. That look at what is going on here. Let this not embarrass us. Please attend to the supply these children table and chair. They did it till date. Then Asaba that they supplied in less than how many weeks, the whole tables and chairs destroyed. Why? Substandard material was used in the construction, in the supply. And yet nobody is holding them accountable. There is no accountability. There is no transparency. Nothing. As I speak to you, I also told the governor at some point, I went to see the governor in government house. Okay. I now discovered that the truck that was used to move waste management, it was open. Everywhere was smelling. Environmental pollution. Normally in Lagos State, there is this pressure hydraulic truck that you use even in UK. It's hydraulic. That when you put the waste, it seals back. It makes it airtight that there is no pollution, in the environment. You need to witness this. I even had to go to Google that samples of those hydraulic trucks, sent it to the governor. That this was like a year and some months ago now. Till date, they are still using that open truck that will be polluting the whole government house. Look, it's a shame that Delta State, that is the richest state in Nigeria, cannot afford not even one truck that is hydraulic pressured truck for waste disposal. You see that this government, they were not ready to govern. That was why I said, no, I have to step aside. I have to resign because I can't continue to identify with such a system. They are not willing to key into ideas, to key into growth, to key into innovation, that when you even bring in innovation, they are going to sideline you. Either they hijack it or they make sure that it doesn't work. By rigging the system,
I can see that.
It doesn't work.
I can see them. I can see them. Well, Bob, listen, we have a lot to do. Thank you for coming today. We have a lot to do, brother. We have a lot. Delta State have to move forward. That Delta State is Nigeria. Anything that is happening in Nigeria today, you can trace it to Delta State because all the ingredients of Nigeria are in Delta State. All. We have everything there. And like I said, Delta State can be a country of its own, well governed, taking care of everything. We see having oil coming, money from oil. What are we doing with it? The guy asked a question in terms of proportionality. Think how much is coming to Delta State. Think of what they're doing. I'm going to ask Wilbert one thing because he said the economic commissioner is his friend. What is a journalist doing as a commissioner for works? I'm going to look back into that. If I can have Wilbert back quickly, before I even go into doing anything else, I wanted to ask, because you were part of this, Wilbert. What is a journalist doing as commissioner for works? I don't you have people who have experience in engineering? You just mentioned to me, brother, your little experience, you study, this is your field. Where would you have a journalist as a commissioner for works? Where on earth is that happening? Why? Who come up with that appointment? What can you hear me? Engineer, Asaba, I don't want to hear me now. They will hear me today. Question I asked, and it's a big one, and you guys can be angry. Listen, I am in my age. I don't care anymore. How can somebody who is a journalist be the right person to be the commissioner for works? Robo say better for Kure. You know what I mean, Kure? Now ancestors. Now they keep person for Roboland. If you not talk through, ancestors go kill you. So I only somehow because of the truth. You see, this is where we get it wrong. By the time you put the wrong people in the wrong places, now this guy would have probably do well as a commissioner for information. Now you go and bring in Abati to come and talk for us in Delta State as if we don't have human being in Delta State. There's no press in Delta State. There's a television station, Delta State Television. What is it doing? Why do we need Arise? Why is Arise reporting for Delta State? Why is Shandes reporting for Delta State? What happened to the TV station in Delta State? Are you up there? Do you have a TV station in the state? Oh, what makes Arise and Abati better than those people there? When I take English, when I take tell me because I don't hear too much English. I need answers. Mr. Governor, I only asked 2 questions today, more they come. By the time I connect with Wobok, you guys are in trouble because if Wobok release those images to me, you know will get peace. I will embarrass you in a way they will not believe. Wobok is going to work with me. I'm going to release those images and I'm going to embarrass you big time. Let's not get that yet. The question I asked Wobok, I'm with you quickly. My question is, you look at 2 of your engineers here. So you are not qualified to be commissioner for works. You bring a journalist to be commissioner for works. You said it's your friend. Mona take tell me that one. Where it come from? And I asked another question. We have DBS in Asaba, DBS in Warri. What is Arise doing there? Are these people not journalists? Are they not trained to report our news?
Incidentally, let me come in here. But looking at now, Charles Aniago has 2 portfolios. Now, when Agenda was the commissioner for information, it was assumed that he was not playing the trumpet of the governor and the government enough. He's not a man of propaganda. He didn't know how to play that kind of propaganda. Who could do it? They say it was Charlie.
No, Charlie was there for COA's
interest. Yes, it was there. That's what I'm saying. They were there to protect this 1.3 trillion naira.
It was a cover up.
It was a big. Look, they needed people that could cover up. And remember, like I did say, Charles Aniago he was brought in from Lagos. Look at the big hotel he built. If he was still in the set, would he have been able to build that mega hotel? With whose money? There's a collective looting of taxpayers' money. Now you brought him for commissioner for rural. Oh, I forgot to tell. I think we discussed it on Monday program. Himself and Ruben Izezi with the governor in China. I sent the clips to you. They went to
but they are not the first to go.
No, I'm coming.
Governor Uduaga went the same way.
Uduaga
went there for Cocoa Park.
Yes.
Okowa went the same way, Johnny, for Kwale Park.
What have we achieved?
Today,
Kwale
Park is not existing. Cocoa Park is not existing. They just went there for media PR to deceive the world that they are working. They are not going to do anything.
What are we talking about?
It's just to waste money to deceive the world that they have plans for the people of Delta State.
What knowledge that Charles, what does he know about drainage? What does he know about road construction?
That is why we have a lot of fancy drainages in Delta State.
Daddy Chris,
in 10 minutes after rainfall,
it's over.
You see that everywhere is flooded in Delta State.
90% of the constructed roads in Delta State do not last one rainy season. After that first rainy season, it start patching. We need to start patching. There is no guarantee.
The commissioner for works to go and bring it. You see, what did somebody tell Jonathan? When you have that kind of wife, that's the kind of mistake you make. When you have somebody like this as your commissioner for works, how can you not make that mistake? Because if you bring somebody with the right idea, he will advise you. Look at what Womburg just told us. How the kind of thing we can use so that there will be no pollution.
No, they don't like those kind of people. They want people that will tell them, that will compromise with them. They don't want those kind of people. We're in the system here. We see these things happen. That we speak. There are certain times we'll be on program. It's come to my program, and when we're talking, immediately we come and they will tell, DSS will come carry. And I will say, for what? That is the problem. A lot of people.
No, DSS will carry you when you are into disinformation and misinformation. But when you have evidence, DSS cannot carry you.
Because
they will be begging you.
They monitor these programs. All our programs, be informed that the Christian in the UK, they monitor the programs we do on radio, on TV, and online. They monitor. I've been privy to that. I've had interactions with them. But like I've always said, I don't go on air without the facts. When the facts are overwhelming, you can't look a man that is as the facts. You can't compromise with that kind of person. Because
2 days ago, the governor sent me a message because of my advocacy to educate and enlighten Deltans. On what is going on. For instance, sir, Oko is in Oshimili South local government area. And we have this region in Anambra State. Immediately you enter Anambra State from the Asaba Onitsha Bridge. There's a junction called Uga Junction. That route leads to Odekbe, Atani, the popular late Osadebe, the musicians community. Oba Akuba. That region is tarred, nylon tarring. To the end, to River State. That route leads to River State. In less than 1 hour, you'll be in Port Harcourt from Onitsha, if that bridge is connected across the River Niger. Now, the other region, part of River Niger, that's the water body that separates Delta and Anambra State, is Oko community. Now, they have a 30-kilometer plus stretch, 29, 30, close to 30-kilometer stretch from Asaba to Kwale, Ndukwa. That's Opai. Do you know that till date, that road, I've been campaigning for that road construction because of we have farmers that are settled there. Farm produce that are being consumed by the Anambra State people, most of them come from this Delta State, this Oko community. Now they cannot sell to people in Delta, in Asaba or in Delta State because of there is no access road to bring out their farm produce. That's why I've been campaigning for them for years. Okay, the governor now approved construction of this community road. Guess how many kilometers he approved? 3.5. And they went to do media PR, fraudulent PR. How can you approve 3.5 kilometers from such community that this community were the ones that gave Julius Berger access to extract sand that was used to construct the second Niger bridge? Yet Julius Berger never deemed it fit to use that opportunity, since the sand is free, to connect access road for them. You see that this government, they are not a serious government. How can you approve 3.5 kilometers from 30 kilometers? Because you know election is coming. You want to use it to deceive them, that you want to help them, whereas you don't want to help them construct that road. You only did it to buy time. Even the Julius Berger that is in Warri constructing, this is the first time I'm seeing Julius Berger that is constructing in slow motion. Julius Berger, we know, less than 6 months, they are done with your project. Less than 3 months, they are done. Julius Berger work morning, night. But you know that it's going to 2 years plus that Julius Berger has been there. Crawling, it's like Julius Berger and Warri, they are mixing 1 bag of cement per day.
No, they said that they are busy, they are working, the information rich, they are doing 2-3 flyovers at the same time.
Look, Julius Berger is Julius Berger. They have done bigger projects. Don't
they
allow
are busy.
No, don't allow anybody to deceive you. Julius Berger is Julius Berger. Julius Berger has the skill, they have the manpower, they have everything to ensure that project should have been completed by now. But because the government, they went for Julius Berger for political clout, to make Deltans feel that yes, we are going for the best, like Akwa Ibom, like Akpabio did when he was governor of Akwa Ibom State. They are not interested. These guys are not interested to help the people. They are not people oriented. They have not created jobs. They have not revived our industries. They have not done anything since their Zoom office. All they have been doing is PR. And Chasaniagu, my good friend, has been a good stuntman for that value. That selfish value, not for the people's interest, but for the government political
Thank
interest.
you. That is it. So Charles is there you see, Charles, at the point of the day, this time gonna come and you're gonna go. You cannot hold that place forever. And you will be accountable one day. The way we're not holding Okowa, it's gonna be there, it's gonna be you. Let me remind them, it's gonna be all of you one day. One day it's gonna be all of you. You're gonna account for whatever you're doing. You understand? Destroy your name as much as you can. Wear big cap. Today, tomorrow will be your turn. You see what is so painful here is, look at this man. You see, all the things now, then it was powerful. Today it's no more. It's wanted by the FCC. See, there will be a day of reckoning, my people. It might not be me, it might not be now. It will come. You see, there's nothing, you own this world, God owns the world. There's a day we will account for whatever we do. And look at this here. I'm here with the presence of Deltans. You have these two men here. You have this brain. You have the resources. We cannot take this. We cannot have these talents. We can't have the natural resources. And like I said, Delta State have it all. In fact, if we just talk of agric now. Look at the analysis. I talk of construction now. We are looking for Julius Berger. What are we doing with Julius Berger? We have construction engineers who can do these things in our own way. Must we do it their way?
We don't believe yours.
Must we do it their way? Our engineers should construct our road. We go use them as we see them. We go to repair them. Not be our own.
The one that Julius Berger, the CCC they construct too, that they still the repair them.
So
look at cable point.
Again, it boils down to one man. You know the biggest disappointment of our time, more than others, we need to write officially to the governor. If he won't fail,
he's not going to reply.
Because this guy have no reason
he's
to
not going to reply. Don't waste your time. These defense government that I've seen that you put up a petition, send petition to them, they don't reply you. During the time of Governor Okowa tries. He always responds, even if he's not going to most likely address to most of the ways. At least Okowa was then, the chief of staff was David Edeve.
Yes.
He always communicates through his chief of staff. Governor Okowa always communicates through his chief of staff. But you see, this sheriff government, it's a pity. They don't respond to any advocacy, any protest. They don't. They will never.
You know what? Wobok, they're going to respond when they see us. Don't worry. They're going to respond now. Because if you refuse to go to Sokoto will come with you. We'll come to them. Yeah. We will embarrass them. They will be so much embarrassed. You see, like you rightly said, Mr. Abati, thank you very much. Not be you cause him. Now our people cause him. If not, where you go, they go do your advocacy for Delta State. How the government work, which you know if you change. Abati, arise, go there to go and talk what you don't know. Anyway, you were shown the little things you know. So this little arise you create now you don't create. And in fact, it embarrass me, sir. What can Delta State government go to arise? Don't we have TV station? Are you not talking to Deltans? The last time, this is the same thing Okowa did, though. Okowa did, the good work of Okowa government. They went to play it in channels. And I said, this thing is for Delta people. It's made for Deltans. Why are you doing it with China? Why not on Delta State television? Oh, our own television not good. Wow. Bro, we have an issue. But let's go on a break. When we come back, we're not going to take a look at the papers today because all of them are doing what they do best. I think Nigerian newspapers are now making a lot of money. Only come and put it on a cover page. The front cover of a newspaper. Supposed to be the headline things happening in Nigeria. But today is for advert. God will answer us. But let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll try and round up this show quickly. Thank you very much. Don't go. Stay with us.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. It's coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768. or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria, is partnered with Civil Society, scaling up nutrition in Nigeria.
All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Like I told you, I'm in the presence of greatness. Today is a great day, but we'll come right to the end of the show. So I'm not going to do much now because I'm going to try and have Wobog and Engineer many times on this show. Wobog is a man on the ground, and it's somebody we need to talk to. So it's a very privilege to have you today. So I'm going to just ask one thing, Wobog. What's the way forward for us right now? Just on a lighter note, what do you think the government of Delta State should be doing to put things in the right direction? Okay, they've cross-carpeted all those ones. We can't do that anymore. We now know he's trying to save Okowa. May God save Okowa. Now, for us, what can we save in this difficult time? Just maybe before 2027, so that we can at least survive. Because as it is now, it's hard. What do you think we should be doing? What's our advice to the governor?
The only thing we can do now is to campaign. Start organizing ourselves, our people, so that by 2027 we are going to vote this bunch of misfits out of government. You cannot give what you don't have. They don't have it. They don't have it in them. They have not been able to do it in the past 2 years. They can't do it in the next 8 years. So what we are going to do as a people, God is at work as I speak. God is already answering our prayer. You can see that the APC Northeast, they are gathering. When they nominated President Tinubu, they rejected him. You know, they have already started having internal issues. Here in Delta North, Ned Woko stakeholders meeting, Okowa did not attended it. Former deputy governor, current deputy governor did not attended it. They are already imploding on themselves. So what do we do as a people? What do we do as electorates? We have to organize ourselves. Like I said earlier, we are going to supervise ourselves.
PDP left.
Minister, and make sure that we vote these people out. These people have nothing new to give to our people. Look, in Delta State, we have a lot of men and women with mental health issue walking about the state. The government don't attend to them. They abandon them. That's not the practice outside this country. The country abroad, they have social welfare system that attends to the mental health of their people. Here in Delta State, those that have kidney issue, the government should know that those that have kidney issue, liver issue, sickness that are expensive to attend to, surgery that the government should take it that your surgery will be attended to by the state government. The government is going to fund your health treatment. Even the contributory health scheme of the state government is a fraudulent one, that the government deducts money. Here they are not providing you with adequate drugs. They only provide you with vitamin C and paracetamol. If you tell them you have kidney issue, they can't attend to you. Here they are deducting money. What about the money that they deduct from civil servants on a monthly basis for housing? Are they providing the low-cost housing for them? Civil servants don't have house. Look at the Commissioner for Agriculture. 2 days ago, released a press release, I think on the 10th of June, a fraudulent release that civil servants should start engaging in farming. Which farm? Is there any land in Asaba that the civil servants are going to use for? Civil servants are not even landlords. They are still tenants, expensive houses. Many civil servants are living on loan. The government are not having plans to address housing crisis in Delta State. The other day, Chasaniagu did a fraud media hype that the governor was attending to housing crisis in Delta State. Meanwhile, they went to commission additional duplexes inside the commissioner quarters for the commissioners, not for the average Delta or the Delta outside. But it was covered. The fraudulent PR says that the governor was addressing housing crisis in the state. Meanwhile, because of political settlement, they had the existing commissioner quarters. They were not having enough duplex or accommodation for other new portfolios. So they had to start construction inside the facility of their old commissioner quarters that Chief James Sibori built. Governor Sheriff had to build more duplexes for the commissioners, not for Deltas, for his commissioners, for his ESCO, for his cabinet members. And they are deceiving the world through Chasaniago that they're built it for Deltas. Is that not deceit? Is that not propaganda against reality? Check. You see that? That's why I said that we don't have any hope in this government. Okay, the indigenous of Africa protesting insecurity. What do? Instead of sending security to go and protect them, to go into the Ogovan region, where these Fulani herdsmen are always going to abducting our people and residing there as their abode. Why not go there and disrupt their abode? Why not work with the hunters? Let the hunters guide you guys in the forest. Why not work with vigilante and anti-court or volunteers to chase away these kidnappers that are in the bush? They don't even use cars to do abduction again. They walk to your house, knock at your door, you open door, they adopt you and ask for 5 million, 10 million, 20 million as the spirit leads them. Instead of them to tackle it, they went there and start intimidating the youth and the indigenous. Started
Right.
They're now at the part 3 of Ndukwa because they are asking for electricity supply. Is that the best? It's not the best. So you see that they don't have any solution to our problem. So
do we have PDP left? Do we still have PDP left in Delta State? Do we still have PDP? Is PDP still there? What about?
We have skeletal versions of PDP. We are hoping to go into a coalition. We have actually merged with the coalition, that we are just on standby waiting. Once the coalition is announced, we start organizing, we start mobilizing our people, we start educating our people, we start campaign, we start.
The only way on the issue of coalition, I hope you already know that there's a clog in the wheel. The president, INEC is not going to approve any new political party. That's settled already. So the PDP in Delta State is still alive. I must be frank with you.
No, but we are hoping. Look, the PDP is divided, just like the children of Israelites. Jeroboam and Rehoboam. They cannot do it alone. They cannot do it alone. They need the obedient movement. They need the Deltans. Look, we don't know if we are going to use the PDP platform. Our hope is the coalition.
Yes.
To conquer.
So I hear what Wobog is saying. Whether Labour, whether na PDP, whether na SDP coalition, let us come together and fight this evil regime. That's what he's saying. Thank you very much, guys. We're gonna do this again, Wobog. It's a pleasure to have you on this platform. And we have a lot to do. We have a lot to do. And a lot in common. It's for the betterment of our people. It is so important. Did I say something here, sir? That for evil to exist, righteous men are busy doing nothing. And I'm so proud of you to pick your head out. You see, you're gonna eat today, tomorrow die. It's not good. No, don't eat poison. Don't eat poison. And that's what you have done. I'm proud of you. And in order for system to move on, people have to continue to challenge it. Even Jesus Christ went into the house. They were gambling. He threw the things away. He did not talk. He went into fighting. He fought them. So sometimes there are different approaches. Sometimes we get to fight them. Sometimes we get to propose to them. Sometimes we're going to address them. Sometimes we're going to lobby them. Together, we're going to push them in the right direction. Thank you very much, my brother, for joining me today. And we'll do this again and again. And I look forward to working with you. And SRTV will be working with you closely in how Delta State can move to the next level. We're proud of you. All right, that's where we end it today. You guys have heard it all. It is one of the most exciting shows I've had for some time because why? Wobog was able to tell us because the biggest question I have answered today was, why did this guy actually decamp? Because he was going to win the next election. He did not decamp. He did not decamp because he was going to lose. He decamped because he wanted baptism for his boss. He's not baptized, and everything is now moving in the right direction. You are saved. But I don't know whether you're baptized in the name of Jesus or in the name of the devil. That's where I end it. Thank you very much for joining me. We'll do this again another time. God bless you. Bye for now.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. It's coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria, is partnered with Civil Society, scaling up nutrition in Nigeria.
SR TV. Innovative content.